So we're here with Lynell Diggs, one of our newest studio artists at the Interurban Art House, but not new to the art world. From what I hear, you've been going since, like, you started when you were a kid and then came back to it like 15 years ago. Is that true?
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about your practice, like how you got started, as a kid, and then how you came back to art, and then just what drives you to create, what drives you to paint?
Okay, so I started off as a kid. I would say maybe 4, 5 years old. Going to the library buying how to draw books, animals, people, or characters. So that kind of helped me practice. So I had this one teacher that told me when I was in, let's say, 6th or 7th grade, I had a teacher tell me that people say they know themselves like the back of their hands. So we're gonna practice drawing your hands. And they said that was the hardest thing to draw. So I kind of started drawing my hands. Knowing sign language helped me to learn how to do different shapes with my hands and practice with that. So I kind of been drawing since I was a kid. When I went to high school, it kind of detoured being busy with school and sports and band and other activities, work, stuff like that. So after high school, my wife's uncle, there was a well-known artist, a Hallmark artist from Kansas City, passed away. So I had to help clean his house. So the family told me that if I found any art materials, I can keep them. So I found charcoal. I found a lot of charcoal. Coming from drawing with pencils, transitioning into charcoal, it was a learning curve, but that kind of jogged my memory back into drawing. So I started using charcoal. First, it was messy. I started learning techniques to keep my paper clean, keep my hands clean, things like that. So years passed, and I had an art show with only charcoal pieces. Turned out well. I transitioned into acrylics, studying Stan Miller, teaching me how to use my same values with the grayscale and switch them into colors. So that's where I'm at now, is learning, switching values. And why I create, I create to inspire. So my whole thing is to inspire, basically, the royalty within inside everyone. My pages are royalty or king based. I'm trying to represent queenship and just being loyal to the royalty within you. That's part of my name.
That's your overall message?
Yes.
What you're trying to convey?
That's it. Be loyal to the royalty within you. That's my main message.
Wow. And yeah, pretty much every one of your portraits are regal in some way.
I appreciate it, man. It took some time to get to figuring my own style out, and I believe I found it. And I was having a hard time when I first started painting and learning what's my style, and I was going through a lot, and like this within me, trying to just figure this all out. I can draw with pencil, but painting, it seems like you have to have a certain style, and you got to find your own style. So it just took time, I guess.
Mhm.
And that was one of my biggest challenges at first. Just figuring myself out. It's like the journey. You taking this journey, not knowing where it's going to end or
Yeah.
begin. I don't know. This is just a journey for me, man. Seeing where I come from to where I'm at now, I'm just blessed.
It makes sense that as you try to figure out yourself, because when you paint, as artists, when we create something that's like a little bit of ourselves, coming out into the world. So it makes sense that your work would reflect you, kind of change and be a little scattered as you're a little scattered, figuring yourself out.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about because I've seen you show all over, like you hustle with your work. Are you
Yeah.
still showing? Are you still showing at the Riel Scari Gallery in Midtown?
Well, they're having solo artist shows this year,
Uh,
so I'm just waiting on my month.
hmm But
But
yeah, I think that's because I know I've seen your work over the years around, but I think that's where I kind of was like, oh yeah, I remember this guy when I walked into that gallery. I think a couple years ago.
that sounds so cool to me when people say that. It just warms my heart, man.
Good.
Like I know this work.
Mhm.
It's
No,
it's
yeah,
awesome.
it's distinctive.
It's awesome.
So yeah, and I like that, you're at the art house in Overland Park, the studio, but then you still got a footprint all the way over in Midtown at the Riel Scari Gallery over on 39th Street. I know you've
Yeah,
been like you set up booths. Sorry, go ahead.
Natasha's awesome, and I actually started back off with my art full time with her, and we had an artist collective with Warren Harvey and a few more people that's well known in the community. And Tom went on, and I just had to just back off out of the group.
Hmm.
But we're still friends and everything, and I show with them. So everything's okay.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's kind of like as you say, as everybody figures themselves out and develops their career further and things
Yeah,
solidify. You move in different directions, but still keeping an artist network going. So that's good.
thank
Mhm. So where do you feel you're headed with your art? Is there anywhere you would like to go? Do you have any specific goals with it?
you. Wanna one day travel. I think that would open my eyes up to a lot more inspiration, I would say, is to see more things. And as far as my art, I really want to have a place where artists can come and create. So similar to this, and I can teach classes, maybe some tutoring or workshops, paint parties, or just a venue I can host events or just where people can create. Creators can come and not feel any kind of feeling, just come and be free and create. Similar to the art house. That's my that's my main goal is to have something to give back to the community. Because when I was a kid, we didn't have anything like this. So I think this would be beneficial for youngsters to see and just to know it's possible. This is possible. And if you are artists, chase your dream because life is short and chase your passion.
Nice
That's what
words.
I think.
Mhm. I know a lot of our artists a lot of artists in general have done that, come back to their passion, come back to art. They had to stop and be an adult,
Yeah, yeah,
take care of family, take care of jobs, but inevitably that's always in them, and so they come back
Exactly.
to the arts. Same here.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I'm some of the events that you're a part of. There's one this weekend that you're participating in, 18th and Vine.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so there's an artist, I believe he was an art teacher, or maybe his brother was an art teacher. His name was Robert Cheney, and he has a the Ethnic Art Gallery on 18th and Vine. And he just recently passed away. So they're having a big art show with all local artists to come out and display their work from 3 to 6, live paintings, and just display their work and network with other artists. So I plan to, depending on how the weather is, I plan to maybe have a small table and paint a portrait of Mr. Cheney live.
Oh, wow. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Ethnic Art Gallery, Mr. Cheney started it as a space for Black artists to show work. Artists who may not, especially work that is depicting Black people, sometimes don't make it into mainstream arts forums, and so to combat that, he provided a space and support and even a frame shop
Yeah,
for artists of color, and it's pretty important to have spaces like that, even if it's just like a place to ground yourself and get your work out into other arenas. I feel having an art space like that is supportive of what you do and your message is vital.
yeah.
So, how do you feel about that, Lynell? What's been your experience with that?
I've
Kwanzaa.
started off at the Ria Elskari Gallery. Kind of, I guess I've been welcome in a lot of different areas. So I don't really have a bad experience or anything about showing in certain places. If that was a question. Maybe I'm getting sidetracked.
Oh no, it's a have you or have you not? What's been your experience as a showing artist? Positive, negative, whatever.
Once I found myself in what I wanted to portray, I haven't had any problems. Just I'm just doing my art unapologetic, and I've been getting good feedback.
Good, 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 good. So you call a lot of what you do, or many of or a lot of the pieces in your collection, the Motherland series. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Okay, so this is kind of personal. I don't really know my background as far as my history. My grandparents, great grandparents are knowing where they're from. So I took some time and really prayed about it to ask what was separating myself from every other artist. And I've been to several art shows, and when I woke up, it was concentrating on the motherland. That's what uh, that was the feeling I woke up with. It was so heavy. I started even making masks, like make masks and concentrate on the tribes that are not being talked about. Like we need to see where we're from, and in those tribes, there's royalty in those tribes. So let me pull history back out and kind of show the people what we're missing. Because during school, I wasn't taught any of this. This was like it was hidden from school. So I don't know. I just prayed about it and woke up strongly on concentrating on motherland and bringing history back out.
And I think you're doing a good, you're doing it right.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
And then I see you mentioned earlier that you want to teach and introduce young people to art and making art. And I've seen some of what you're doing. Like, you've been hosting like painting parties and things like that?
I have.
How's
I
that
have.
been? How do you feel about that?
That was one of the hardest things for me to do, having a speech impediment, just to feel the confidence to step out and speak in front of all of these people I may not know and teach them. I never would have thought I would be doing this, but I felt like I have this gift inside of me. I have to share it with the world. I can't just keep this all inside. And there's people that want to know things that I know. Mm-hmm. So why not share this knowledge? So I just face the fears and it's just me, man. Let's do it.
I would say it's working so far, especially on this interview. You're doing great.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, man. This is so tough for me, but I've had a few of them where I'm used to it. I'm not nervous. It's just something I've been battling.
I get that. So that's like one of the ways you've been keeping your art practice going during a pandemic. What else have you been doing? What struggles have come along because of it with your art? What triumphs have you had?
Well, I was right before the pandemic. I was about to start traveling out of Kansas City doing murals.
Wow.
It seemed like the pandemic shut the traveling down. It slowed the art shows down, so there was no more gatherings. And that was the roughest time because I felt like I was really doing well. And I've been wanting to travel, so it was all coming together. And then COVID slowed everything down, which sometimes, in my case, it was a blessing because I was moving so fast and I was put in so many directions. It was hard to focus on art. And then I work overnight, so I was just running on fumes per se. Mm-hmm. So that kind of slowed me down, gave me more time to concentrate on my craft and not having to speed paint. I could actually concentrate on details, and I think COVID kind of helped me because it was moving so fast before. This just helped me slow everything down, get in perspective, spend more time with my craft, and learning how to balance this with family and work. So this has helped me slow down and learn my balance.
So the audio.
One more time, my name.
Yeah, gotcha. So it was the audio blipped out for just a second.
Oh,
but we're back.
Okay.
No worries. So it's kind of giving you time to develop and breathe.
Yeah, just step back and reflect. And some things I had to reapproach, figure out what I'm gonna do next, just plan everything out. Yeah, because before this, I was so busy. This is okay for, which is really good for someone in my field, but at the same time, just gave me a chance to slow down a little.
Yeah, isn't it strange? Like the pandemic is scary and strange, but for some of us, like it was a much needed like pump the brakes.
Yeah,
Remember who
yeah.
you are.
It was helpful and hurtful.
Yeah, exactly.
Bittersweet, it is bittersweet, but take the punches and keep rolling.
So as far as your work, and like as you develop classes, if people are interested in buying your work, how can they do that? What's the best way?
Well, for me, the best way is to attend one of my pop-up shows.
Hmm.
But if you can't, then I would inbox me on my Facebook or Instagram on whatever you're trying to get that you've seen,
Hmm.
and we can take it from there.
I mean, like that painting on the wall of the man's back turned with like the mud markings on his back. That
Um,
reminds me of a really good friend of mine, and it's just like, well, I wonder how much this is. How do I get a hold of Lynell to figure out
okay.
what's
Do you
up?
have a price on that, Lynell?
Let's say 210.
And that's affordable.
It's affordable. I try to keep it affordable. It's so people can have my art and actually get the message. I'm trying to get this message across, or this royalty message.
Mhm. Is that what is that? And that one is still speaking to that concept of royalty. Like, what inspired you to create that one specifically?
I believe what inspired me to do this one is maybe me finding myself. Excuse me.
Yeah,
So,
no problem. Watch Lynell take a phone call.
I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, no worries.
When it gets more real, my battery's about to die, so I'm going to hand this to Lynell and go get my charger.
Okay, so
Yeah, and if you want to flip it to yourself, just
got it. All right. I think this piece is saying, I think this guy here in the center of the ring of people who say, that's me. Just finding myself, graduating from where I was to the next level, like manhood.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I feel when I look at this. I'm concentrating on this guy in the middle. He's kind of out in like a bull ring, cause I like if you play football, they have this one drill that has like a bull in a ring. This what it kind of reminds me of, but not in the same context.
I like for you, the viewer, the focus might be on, the man in the foreground, the one who's, taking up most of the space. But for you, that little guy that you have to look over his shoulder and really, and you may not notice at first. And that I like that difference of perspective between viewer and artist.
Yeah.
And then how about the one to the right? What she got going on? I see this theme in a lot of your work, talking about, regalness and royalty. And this seems to be like an updated version, or it could be retro.
I've been told I have a kind of like a futuristic type of feel. So this one is like I'm trying to represent the fierceness of a woman can have. Like she can be mellow, but at the same time, she can be fierce. Sort of like water, how it can flow and it can crash.
Mm-hmm.
So it's showing the fierceness, and this is just using my charcoal background as with the grayscale, but I added some dragonfly paint on top of it. So this picture actually changes colors.
Oh, so
The eyes and the lips, depending on where you're at looking at it. It could be purple or blue, or just black and white, because the picture is really black and white.
I'll have to check that out next time I'm in.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about that piece.
We can actually probably do it now.
Okay, I'm down.
Hold over here. Sorry, we can only go so far with the cord.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
There we go. There's the blue. You're right. Depends on the angle you're at.
The angle, it can get purple.
Dude, that's clever.
When you walk past it this way, back up a little bit.
Wow. Whoa.
And
Very cool.
So yeah.
then down on the floor to the right, I see you've got an anatomical study.
I do. This was painted for a body show for the El Scari gallery. There was a body politics show. So I was in that, and I figured I'll concentrate on the muscles of the body versus just the poses of the body.
Do you find that like working on that piece, did that influence other work that came after it? Do you feel that kind of honed some skills?
This was really just show specific. Like, they have theme shows, and I wanted to have something for that show, so tried to find something challenging. So I tackled it, and this is how it turned out. I actually have a few pieces like this around here somewhere. I have to find them, but they're here somewhere. I have a few hidden pieces in here.
We all, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that was fun to actually paint. It took time. I feel now like I can go back in there and add more detail though. This is from October 2018. So I feel now I see things that I can add.
New perspectives given time.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta just stop, because all paint, you can keep seeing things that could be added. But sometimes you gotta just stop.
Yeah, because you're not gonna
Because I can work on, you can work on the same piece forever.
Yep. So I've seen, you have a family, and it looks like your kids are into art as well, at least some of them. Your daughter is like making leaps and bounds. How does that feel? How's that process been?
Oh, she's really good. She is really good. What's funny is we had a contest, me and her. She challenged me to draw off time, like a time test, where we had to do a 10-minute picture, a 5-minute picture, and a 10-second picture. But they're all the same picture. So, and she beat me, as far as I'm concerned. Her pictures consistently were better than mine. So it's like I had to. What can you do? I'm like, what just happened here? So she's so awesome, and she draws. I just hope that she takes off where I'm leaving off. I'm trying to build this legacy so she can take over this thing, because she's better than me, I believe. It's just she's just a graphite artist. So I gotta respect that. I'm trying to teach her how to paint. She can paint, but she's more of a pencil artist. So I gotta respect her craft.
How does it feel as a parent to have a child, follow in your footsteps and then probably surpass at some point? And as an artist,
That's what all parents should want. If you're teaching them for them to surpass you, I think all teachers should want that. For someone that you're training to be better than you. But at the same time, there's a quote from James Brown saying that he taught them everything they know, but he didn't teach them everything that he knows. So some of the things I try to keep a secret to myself and just let her figure it out. So I don't teach her everything. I kind of let her take her own journey through it.
Yeah, don't hand everything to him. Let him. I don't know. I identify with that because my father was an artist, and I followed in his footsteps, like doing my own thing. But I know that that's where I got it from, and I'm grateful for it. So I imagine she feels the same way because every time you post her work, it's like a little better, or you see that she learned a new skill. So I hope you're proud.
I am, man. I am. And she draws so fast. Like she drew me a caricature of me in 4 minutes, and it looked just like me. But I was a nerd, so I asked this big Bob girls. I had pocket protectors, but it was awesome. It was an awesome picture, and I kind of think that she could do that. She can be a well-known caricature artist. She's good with making her own character, so she calls them her OCs. She has a book of OCs. They have a storyline, friends, they have boyfriends and everything. So she could really make her own coloring book per se. It's just tackling that. Or I saw some blank books that she can draw in and make her own bubbles and stuff like that. So I'm kind of thinking about starting off or giving her a chance to do that to see how the whole storyline plays out. Because I want to see, because I've been seeing her create them. And I've seen the characters that she had from kids, they're grown to teenagers now. So it's like I'm seeing her characters grow up, and I just want to see it on the storyline and see how it all plays out.
That's pretty cool.
It's crazy. It really is cool. Like, wow.
So if anyone has questions for Lynell, you can either post them in the chat or just go up, unmute yourself and ask away. And otherwise, Lynell, can you go back over if people want to buy or contact you, Facebook is Facebook or Instagram is the best way?
Yeah, I would say so. At this moment, you can just inbox me at Lynell Diggs on Facebook or Instagram, or you can email me at diggslynell@gmail.com. That'll be the best ways to contact me. I do have a website, but I haven't been adding pictures like I should, so I'm gonna work on that, and you'll be able to purchase through the website here soon.
Cool. Looking forward to that. And let us know if any support on that or anything we can do.
Awesome. That'd be great.
Well, no, thank you so much for talking with us.
Appreciate your time, man. This is awesome.
Appreciate the energy and appreciate the amount of work that you're putting out there into the community and the representation that you're giving. So thank you. If anyone finds themselves needing something to do on Sunday, Clarissa, you're right. The Ron Chaney Memorial event is at Soiree this Sunday. 3 to 6 p.m. and that's 1512 East 18th Street, I believe. It's all outdoors, so social distancing will be in place. There'll be live music, free event. You can donate if you want. I've posted the link to the event, and also like donation information and things like that in the chat. So please stop by if you can. Check out Lynell's work and the other artists that are going to be there.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll do this again with a different artist. End of the month should be October 29th. So yeah, thank you. Everyone have a good day.